What's going on, bros and broettes? So I figured I'd do a 1 week review on my Oculus Quest 2. Now remember, this is purely from me having virtually no experience with any other headset, so take that for what it is. I think I'm going to do sort of a pros and cons list to try to, kind of highlight some aspects of the system itself. Alright, let's just go ahead and start with the pros. Number one, it's a very portable device. You can pretty much take it anywhere you want to. Now they do recommend you don't use it outside. I guess the sunlight can affect the lenses and mess them up, so don't do that. Number two, the inside-out tracking is great. I haven't had any issues with it at all. Seems like it pretty much tracks my hands wherever they go. So I think the tracking was done really good on it. Let's move to 3. So it's a very cheap device. I mean, you're talking $300 for a fully capable machine, and you don't even need a computer. And I think it looks great. The games that I've played are fantastic on it. 4, the controllers are pretty comfortable. Not having any issues with them. I did buy some grips for my controllers that came with a knuckle strap. I will say the knuckle strap does not work that good with these controllers. It makes you hold it very awkwardly, and it feels like, reaching the buttons is kind of a pain when you have the knuckle straps on, so I don't use it anymore, but the grips feel nice. So I'd recommend getting at least grips for it. Number 5, the resolution's fantastic. A lot of people talk about the screen door effect. I hardly notice that at all on this, if at all. So resolution is fantastic. Number 6, it supports hand tracking. I don't really use the hand tracking. I've tinkered with it, but it's there for people who like it. It's not very immersive to me, so I don't use it, but it is a lot of fun. And number 7, and the final pro, and there's a lot more, but I'm just trying to make it sweet and short and sweet. The system is very light. It doesn't feel like a brick's on your head. Even with the head strap that it comes with, it's pretty comfortable, and I haven't had really any issues with it. Alright, so moving on to the cons list. So I kind of was doing some web searching for it because I really just can't think of too much wrong with the system, at least as of right now. So a lot of people have an issue with it being owned by Facebook, and you have to have a Facebook account, but I mean, let's be honest here, who doesn't have a Facebook account nowadays? I mean, the numbers kind of speak for itself with how used Facebook is, so that's not really an issue for me, but it might be a huge issue for some other people. 2, the limited storage. I can see where that would be an issue in the future. As of right now, I've not had any issues with it. But I only got the 64 gig model, so I'd probably opt to get the 256 gig just for storage sake, in case you want all your games on there at once. And then 3, a lot of people say it's not good for PC VR because of the link compression. Now I haven't had any experience with the Oculus link cable, but I've been using virtual desktop to basically stream the games to my Oculus, and I've not really had any issues. The latency is minimal. I don't really notice anything, so again, not really a big deal breaker for me on this system. 5, there's been a lot of complaints with the audio strap. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but it's really not a big deal to me, especially for the price point. The audio strap does the job. It's pretty immersive. It gets pretty loud. Like, I play Beat Saber with it, and I'm just fine, and I like the fact that I can still be aware of my surroundings. But you can go hook up a cheap pair of headphones to it and call it a day and have better audio, so I mean, it's not a huge deal to me. So that's pretty much all the cons that I have for it. It's really something that is going to be subjective to a lot of different people, and it was hard for me to even point out any flaws with this system. But I'm sure as time goes on, more games come out, I might notice things that I don't like as much. So I guess the question stands, should you buy the system? I'd say yeah, go ahead, go out and buy it. It's very affordable, has a lot of potential. I know Steam Link is working on a 90 hertz update, and Virtual Desktop already has a 90 hertz option. So I think this is going to be more than capable of running Steam and Oculus Store games. I don't really see an issue with it. I've been playing Half-Life Alyx on it with Virtual Desktop, and I've not noticed too much. And I'd say if you're just getting into VR, this is the system that should be your first. I highly recommend it. I'd go out and buy it. I bought one for me and I bought one for my son, and I have no regrets. It's a great system. Figured I'd do a little bit of gameplay for you. So here's The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners on the Quest itself. Now graphics aren't the best, but I wasn't expecting it to be, with this being a standalone headset. With that being said though, it's pretty immersive. It gets a bit dark at times, but I think that's more by design. The tracking is good. Haven't had too many issues, but it seems when it comes to like opening doors and stuff, the tracking gets a little wonky and it just doesn't look good, and it kind of breaks the immersion feel, I guess. But you know, for $300 I can go in and kill zombies and live in the Walking Dead, timeline. I'm pretty happy with that. Feels good to me. So sign me up for it. Nothing better than grabbing a zombie by the head and sticking a screwdriver in its skull. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Now, there are a couple of free games you can get if you've spent all your money on the system, if you do end up buying it. The first one is Rec Room. It's a fun game. It's comprised of a lot of little games that people build. You can sword fight, you can play paintball, you can have a chill night and go bowling and play pool. I mean, there's a lot of different things to do in this game. Basketball, pretty much almost anything you can think of. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend downloading that. It's free, and there's a huge community on it, and I've had very little issue on finding friends or people to play with and do things on that game. The next game that I would recommend is Echo Arena. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I guess just picture a Rocket League. Instead of, you being a car, you're a robot in outer space fighting for a disc. You only move by flying, which is a lot of fun. It's pretty immersive. I can't get enough of it. You can steal the disc, punch each other out to take it, and the goal is you got to get it into the other team's goal. So, I mean, it's a very simple, straightforward game, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a huge player base on that. I've always been able to find a game and find friends to play with as well. So I'd highly recommend downloading that. And, I mean, there's a lot of other free stuff on there, so if you spend all your money on the system, I definitely recommend at least playing those two games, because I'd say you could probably have a couple of months of fun with no issues with those two. The last thing I'd like to talk about is Virtual Desktop. It's a $20 app, but it allows you to connect to your PC wirelessly. So that's what I've been using for PC VR. I'm playing Half-Life Alyx on it, like I said, with minor issues. It tracks pretty well. I haven't really had any issues. I do notice some stutter and jitter at times because I guess the streaming. I mean, I'm only streaming with a laptop with a 1660 Ti, 16 gigs of RAM, and a i7. So it's not the best system to be, I guess, streaming VR on, but it works. It's pretty immersive. I've not had any major issues with it. The game is completely playable, so I'm having a great time with at least Half-Life Alyx. It's hard, but it's a lot of fun. Now I'm actually going to be doing a playthrough of that game, so you guys stay tuned for that. I'm going to try to get the commentary with it as well. But until then, I have probably about 15 minutes of gameplay for you guys to enjoy. Like I said, this is going to be of Half-Life Alyx. I tried not to record anything that would break any of the story. So basically this is just me running around and killing. So I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay footage. And do me a favor, go out and buy the Oculus Quest 2. It's a fantastic system.
It is dark.
Everything all right?
Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Last magazine. Oh, thank God. Last 4 shells. This is fine. It's really dark. Russ?
Yeah?
Can you just talk?
About what?
About anything. Literally anything.
Well, I think that given our situation, your irrational fear of the dark is actually quite appropriate. You know, I can give you easily 100 reasons to be terrified.
Okay, that was my fault. I'll be more specific next time. Big fan of this flashlight.
And it, not unlike yourself, is also sensitive to the dark.
Oh yeah?
Meaning it should go on automatically when the lights go out.
Oh, nice. All right, Russ. Really need you to talk again.
Absolutely. Be specific.
Before. What was life like before the Combine?
Ah, excellent. Alex, have you ever heard of a club sandwich?
Nope. Not once.
Right. To make a club sandwich, you need to start with bread. Not from a bread line, from a bakery across the street. Baked that day. Okay? You add tomatoes, lettuce, not vegetable paste, fresh. Then you add bacon. That's from an animal we used to call the pig. You toast the bread, and you put all that inside it.
You guys had all that? That's insane.
It is. And I'm not done. Then you add a second sandwich on top of the first one. You put ham in it, also from a pig, and turkey from an animal we used to call the turkey, and more tomato, more lettuce, and a bunch of other things I'm forgetting. It was 6 inches tall and weighed a pound and had a dozen ingredients from 5 different continents. It was the most impossible food item you could imagine in any age before ours.
Wow.
I know, right?
That is... wow. Thanks, Russ.
You're welcome, Alex.